Blackout Wednesday. As people are gathering this evening with friends and family, we say way too often, people who drink too much alcohol or ingest substances and get behind the wheel, a decision that can have tragic consequences. What you see behind me is the Rhode Island DUI Task Force. It's made up of law enforcement officers from the state of Rhode Island who will be out today through the whole holiday season, specifically looking for impaired operators. Last year, the DUI Task Force arrested between 7 p.m. and 3 a.m. on Blackout Wednesday, arrested 32 people in the state of Rhode Island who made the wrong decision to get behind the wheel. Since 2017, during the holiday weekend, which is basically 5 days, there were 4 fatalities in Rhode Island due to impaired operators. That's 4 senseless and preventable deaths. The DUI Task Force would like to remind everyone that they have options. They don't need to drive impaired. We have designated drivers. You can use a ride share. You can call a family friend to pick you up. There is no excuse for getting behind the wheel. Law enforcement can't do this alone. We need the help of everyone. If you are on the road and see someone who you believe is impaired, call 911 and report them. This is our 10th year of the Rhode Island DUI Task Force. None of this would be possible without the help of our community partners who are gathered here today to help us get the message out. I would specifically like to thank Director Alviti for all your support. Without you and Gaby Abadi and Highway Safety, we'd all be at a loss. The DOT is always there when law enforcement needs them. At this time, I'd like to invite Director Alviti to come up and say a few words.
Good morning. Every year we gather together to remind people that during this wonderful upcoming holiday season, that's all about friends and family, we want you all to be safe. We've had a rough month. This November, we've had 9 fatalities so far this November. And it's heartbreaking because we know that those 9 souls won't be with their families, and there'll be many, many families that are going to be suffering the loss of those individuals during this holiday season. Across the country, 72 million people will be taking to the roads, many of them here in New England, during this week. We need to get through this holiday season without a single fatality. That's our goal. That's the goal of the folks behind me here. They'll be out there to help make sure that anyone that does get on the road, the laws will be enforced and will be brought to task and taken off the roadways. I believe the efforts of everyone here today has played a major role in during recent years, a major reduction in driving under the influence fatalities. This community of safety advocates has made a difference. They've made a difference in reducing the numbers, but we're not to where we need to be yet, which is 0 fatalities from people driving under the influence. It's a culture of tolerance, it's a culture of poor behavior, and even worse, it's the decision to get behind the wheel while you're under the influence. And I hope, and we're here today, these folks will be doing their part, they'll be doing the enforcement. But today we're reaching out to the families and friends of individuals that conduct themselves in an unsafe way during this holiday. And if you have a family member, and we all know this is a season of love and togetherness, getting together with friends and family, and if you truly love your family members, if you see any of them about to make the wrong decision and get behind the wheel intoxicated, please intercede out of love for them and out of love for the rest of your family, and prevent them from getting behind the wheel and ruining the lives or taking the lives of other people. I think if everyone chips in and puts their shoulder into this, we're going to have a much safer and happier holiday, which is what we all wish for. And I'm very thankful for the individuals behind me this year who take their time and their day to be away from their families to make sure that the rest of us are safe. And I thank you all for that, and I applaud you for that. Thank you for coming and helping us get the message out.
Again, this is, I'd like to introduce Jennifer O'Neill. She's the program director for MAD. MAD does wonderful things for us, and they're great for the community, and we really appreciate how they're helping.
Good morning. As Rhode Islanders gear up for Thanksgiving, MAD is reminding everyone to plan ahead and make safety a priority. With both holiday travel and impaired driving on the rise, Thanksgiving is one of the busiest and most dangerous times to be on the road. To keep the season joyous, it's essential to arrange a safe ride home before the festivities begin. The night before Thanksgiving has become a popular night for socializing and drinking, but it also comes with a higher risk of impaired driving crashes. During the Thanksgiving holiday, NHTSA reported 184 fatalities that involved drivers with a BAC above 0.08. It's important to note that this number doesn't include all those who were injured at the hands of an impaired driver on this holiday as well. So often in the world of traffic safety, we talk about numbers. But this data and these crashes are so much more than numbers. They are family members missing someone at the table this year. Their lives and communities changed forever. Thanksgiving should be a time for families to gather, to connect, and to give thanks. By planning for a safe ride home, you can help protect not only your loved ones, but everyone that you share the roads with. Whether it's designating a sober driver, using a ride share, or opting for public transportation, making the safe choice has never been easier, and it will save lives. MAD is also encouraging those who are hosting Thanksgiving to play an active role in keeping everyone safe. By helping guests plan a safe way home or offering them a place to stay, hosts can significantly reduce the risk of impaired driving crashes and make this holiday season safer for all. I'm proud to announce that thanks to funding from RIDOT, MAD has begun airing impaired driving prevention PSAs on 92.3 Pro FM. That began airing this week and will continue through January 1st. Additionally, we're teaming up with Rhode, the Police Chiefs Association, and AAA Northeast for corresponding social media that will be going throughout the campaign's duration. Our radio spots feature 5 local officers who share in our mission to help save lives this holiday season. Radio listeners will hear from Trooper Cameron Clift of the Rhode Island State Police, Corporal Amanda Burbank of the Westerly Police Department, Lieutenant Tim Brady of the Middletown Police Department, and Captain Jen Pinot of the Warwick Police Department. MAD thanks all of our partners in law enforcement who tirelessly patrol our roads and help to keep our loved ones safe from harm. I'll end with this. Our message is simple. If you drink or take any impairing substance, don't get behind the wheel. We all deserve to get home safely this holiday. Thank you.
So our next speaker, I just met her last year here, matter of fact, and she is absolutely a rock star and is always there for law enforcement, and we really truly appreciate her. It gives me great honor to introduce Kathy Andriozzi.
Good morning. While most of us refer to tonight as just simply Thanksgiving Eve, as you've heard, it is also known as Blackout Wednesday, and it's also known as Drinksgiving. And it earned those nicknames for a reason, and not a good one. You heard the statistics, Jen. said the numbers that have been reported, and those numbers don't include, as she said, those severely injured. And it doesn't include the thousands of people that are connected to those that have had their lives forever altered by someone's choice. It doesn't account for all of that. It doesn't give you a sense of the true impact. But all you have to do is talk to a victim family member and you will know. You will hear that impact. I can tell you about the consequences of someone else's choice on the road. I can tell you that after a destructive choice, I lost my Thanksgiving potato peeling partner. You know, I lost my co-pilot that would go food shopping with me and that would help me set the table. All of the times that we spent together doing those typical things that families, we almost take for granted that someone is right there by our side. You know, Thanksgiving is a time of lots of preparation and planning and lots of lists. And for most people, that includes their seating arrangements or what they need to get at the store. As a mom of somebody who was altered forever by a drunk driver, I had lots of lists too. But my lists were to make sure that I had enough medical equipment so that we didn't go without over a long holiday weekend. My seating plan had to include space for a wheelchair and durable medical equipment. Life, as you know, it changes because of someone else's choice. You know, people talk about how tough it is for those grieving at the holidays, and certainly, the truth is, it's tough every day. Every day you feel the loss, but there is something about the times when everybody gathers together that you really feel the presence of their absence. When it resonates most, it hurts. It'll always hurt. And our gatherings will always be incomplete. So please, when you are together with your friends and your family this holiday season, when you celebrate, make your lists, make your preparations, but please make sure that all of those include a plan to stay safe. Take the keys, get a sober ride, put that seatbelt on, keep your eyes on the road, keep your hands on the wheel, and remember, the choices that you make can affect all of your holidays. It can affect every day going forward. Be safe. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to save the best for last. For speaking for AAA will be Jillian Young.
Like many Rhode Islanders, I'll be hitting the road tomorrow to visit family for the Thanksgiving holiday. I'll be joining nearly 72 million Americans who are planning to do the same and travel more than 50 miles from their homes for the holiday. Regionally, more than 3.5 New Englanders are expected to travel, with the majority of them expected to drive. We know from our AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety that on busy, long holiday weekends, the number of crashes increases, along with injuries and deaths, and so does the level of impairment among drivers. Drunk driving is a huge killer on our roadways. Roughly a third of all fatalities in the U.S. every year involve drunk driving. And here in Rhode Island, that number is higher, with alcohol a factor in roughly 43% of fatal crashes in 2022. In fact, in that same year, Rhode Island actually tied with South Carolina for the highest percentage of alcohol-involved fatals in the country. Now, Rhode Island should be at the top of many lists for things like our beautiful beaches and our amazing food, but I don't think we want to be at the top of the list of states with the highest percentage of alcohol-involved fatal crashes. Tonight is an especially dangerous night on the road, as Thanksgiving Eve often involves folks going out and drinking and celebrating with friends as they're reconnecting and maybe kicking off a whole season of celebrations. We just can't stress enough that actions have consequences and split-second decisions can change lives forever. Reckless driving behaviors like speeding and impaired driving put everyone on the road at risk. The holidays are meant to be a joyous time spent with friends. It's critical to celebrate responsibly and designate a sober driver if you plan on drinking. So many of us have phones right in our pockets. And that means a safe ride is really right at our fingertips, whether it's through a text to a friend or a rideshare app. There's just no excuse to get behind the wheel impaired. Keep in mind the 4 Ds. Don't drive drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted. Our first responsibility when we get behind the wheel should be safety. Our own safety, our passenger safety, and the safety of everyone on the road. And finally, don't forget to buckle up. Your seatbelt is the best last defense you have against other drivers on the road who may be participating in those risky behaviors or making a mistake. Seatbelts cut our risk of dying in half in the back seat and up to 45% in the front seat. So wear a seatbelt every trip, every time. We hope everyone has a safe and happy Thanksgiving season. Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our speaking portion. We'd be available for questions if anyone has any. Okay.
Don, are you doing anything different this year that you guys haven't done in the past 10?
Are we doing anything differently? We are doing that's a good question. So there are some communities who are joining together and actually are riding together to kind of double the coverage. Like tonight, I can tell you the North Kingstown Police Department and the Narragansett Police Department will be riding together in one car, and we'll be patrolling Narragansett and North Kingstown. That way, we have enforcement abilities in both towns.
And this is the first year you guys are doing that?
We have done it in the past, but this year we're bringing it back. We're going to try that again, and it's usually pretty effective. Anybody else? All right, great. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah,